Hello, everybody, and welcome to All Blaze No Glory, the podcast. I'm joined by a very special guest, Saara Lahti. Saara's an ice hockey player, but before that, she played Ringette in Finland. Hello, Saara.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. So the reason I got you on, Saara, is obviously to talk a little bit about Ringette. So firstly, could you explain what Ringette actually is?
Yeah, so Ringette is a sport, ice-based team sport, played with 5 skaters and a goalie. So sounds a bit like ice hockey, but rules-wise, it's a different game. So, for example, there's no offside, but you have to pass to someone over a blue line, for example. So that makes it more of a team sport in that sense, that you need your teammates to advance to the other end and score a goal, for example. Another big difference is just the equipment and what you play with, and what the name Ringette comes from is actually that you play with a rubber ring, and the stick that you use doesn't have a blade, so it's just a straight stick that then you insert in the ring, and that's how you carry it on the ice. So, just briefly, that's the main difference.
Okay, and how did you discover Ringette?
So, I mean, I'm gonna reveal my age here now, but when I was in kindergarten in Finland, where I grew up, I saw an ad in the local newspaper about kind of like come try Ringette type of event, and I was about 6 or 7 years old, and ended up going to the event, and then playing for, I don't know, 23 years from that moment. So that's how I got involved.
And in terms of, obviously, there'll be a lot of transferable skills between ice hockey and Ringette. What's the main difference in sort of shooting and passing compared to ice hockey?
Yeah, so, I mean, shooting wise, it's really hard to do a slap shot in Ringette because there is no blade. And really the only time that you wouldn't insert your stick in the ring is that if you have to shoot so fast that you kind of do it ice hockey style, so you just touch the edge of the ring, but usually that's quite inaccurate, so you don't really tend to see that. In terms of a wrist shot, I think it's actually maybe a bit easier in Ringette. The technique is very similar, but I'd say just in terms of stick handling shooting, that slightly easier. Backhand shots, again, like being able to insert the stick inside the ring, makes it slightly quicker perhaps than ice hockey. Well, at least on my like recreational ice hockey level, for sure. And then in terms of passing, because fairly similar instructions, probably that you actually insert the stick in the ring.
Yeah, sorry, we lost you just a little bit there. You said in terms of instructions, and then we kind of lost you. So I don't know if you could maybe just repeat that again.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. So passing wise, I'd say kind of fairly similar to ice hockey in terms of receiving the pass, like giving a pass, but the difference really comes from, you know, how you handle the puck is obviously you can't really, because it's one solid piece. So being able to insert the stick in the ring makes a big difference in terms of passes are perhaps harder to receive because of that, because it's a tiny area, the end of the stick, that you have to get inside the ring, rather than having the blade of a hockey stick to receive the pass, for example.
Okay, cool. And when you're defending, we've tried to play ringette, and admittedly, it was with a dog toy rather than a proper ringette ring. But
Yeah.
just at training with our sticks upside down, it tends to turn into a bit. It gets a bit feisty because everyone's trying to lift each other's stick, and it's quite violent. Is that what ringette's like, or is it a bit more tame than that when people are defending?
Yeah, it's funny the kind of like pitch for ringette back in the day in the 1960s when it was invented was that it's a contact-free sport, and it was an option to ice hockey actually. But when I look at the elite ringette players today, the physicality is just off the charts really. Like I don't think you can associate non-contact with ringette anymore. That might have been the case still, I don't know, let's say 15 years ago, but definitely not now. So it is very physical. And I guess what's maybe a bit scary as well is that I guess because players want to be as fast and nimble as can to protect the ring. So it's also, you need a bit more physicality to actually actually take the ring from someone. Sorry, I think I lost you there now.
Oh, have you got me? Can you hear me again?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Right, good. I got the bit about being quite nimble and the physicality to take the ring, and then we kind of lost you, and you sounded like a little bit like you were underwater. So what were you saying just after that?
Just trying to remember. I guess that what I was trying to say was that also when you it's easier to protect the ring, as in it's harder to take the ring off of someone who's carrying it, because carrying it is easier than a puck, whereas a puck you can lose very easily, which is what I definitely found when I was trying to escape on a breakaway in ice hockey the first few times. I'm, skating wise, I was there, but like carrying the puck, I might have just noticed, like any beginner in ice hockey, that the puck's in the other end all of a sudden. So that makes the game very different. Like it's very, very fast, and you have to be quite. Usually, if ringette players switch to ice hockey or play both, they're usually known for their skating ability, fast paced in terms of turns that you can do, because you have good control of the ring.
Right. Yeah. Right, okay. That kind of makes sense. And what is the ringette scene like in sort of Finland and Europe? Is it quite popular?
I'd say niche. Definitely niche. I mean, in Finland, ringette is usually a word that people know what that means. So I mean, I guess that's already a one battle won. But yeah, there are around 2,000 ringette players in Finland. In other European countries like Sweden, Czech Republic, there are maybe less than 100 per country. So it's really, Finland is taking up the battle with Canada, and they have around, I don't know, maybe 60,000 players. So if you think about those numbers, then, well, in Europe, not having the masses of players makes it quite remarkable that Finland has won the last 8 senior world championship titles. So Finland is on a roll.
Good for Finland. They always punch well above their weight in ice hockey too. So, yeah. And now that you've played ice hockey, obviously a good bit for the Northumbria Kings at university. Do you prefer hockey now, or you still kind of miss ringette?
I think what I enjoy the most is just being in a team. That's what I've realized over the years, that definitely ringette was my first love in terms of sports that I played, because I was so young when I started, and really just played through my like early adulthood really. So I think hockey has definitely filled a gap in my life that I had after I moved to the UK and thought about, you know, what might my options be. And also it's been a really nice new challenge, like starting a new sport when you're, I don't know, 20, I was probably 26, 27 years old at the time. And I really enjoyed that challenge. I would just work on like stick handling on my own in practice, and you know, like trying to claw back some of the some of the missed, I guess, opportunities not playing hockey earlier, and using so much time, like devoting so much time to ringette. So yeah, but to be fair, I've been a hockey fan since Finland won their first World Championship title in 1995. So yeah, I've always watched hockey, and now it's been so exciting to actually be able to play hockey. So yeah.
Cool. And what's been your favorite memory from your time playing ringette?
There are probably a few. I guess, like, I'll just mention three. The first being, like, I guess more of an accomplishment that I made the World Junior team for Finland back in the day. And that was really special, playing for your country, playing against Canada, and kind of really seeing that I could play at that level. And then kind of straight after that tournament, actually, I had decided to take a gap year after high school, and I moved to Canada, where I then ended up living for for a ringette season, really. I worked at a hockey shop. It was really, really cute. And then I played ringette in the National Ringette League. So definitely those memories last a long time. And then finally, kind of what I said earlier about just being in a team, I've had some of the most amazing teammates that I still keep in touch with after all these years, and who are very much part of my life. So that's quite amazing. I'm sure people in the hockey community can also say the same. But yeah, definitely those things I remember.
Yeah. I think that's something I talk about quite a lot on the various podcasts. Is it's not just about how you play; it's also about the people you're playing with, and sometimes I think if you're lucky and you get a good bunch of people, you will have friends for the rest of your life, essentially. And I guess that's the experience you've kind of had. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Because I'm just thinking now, like the kind of hockey community that I've found in the UK, which I didn't kind of expect it to be so close knit. Like whether that's ice hockey or ball hockey, that I guess I'm more involved with now. And just every tournament, you see certain people and you catch up. And that's quite special. Yeah, and definitely the same with like the university ice hockey community as well. So yeah, definitely it was worth doing hockey for sure.
And do you think if if you'd come to Britain and not got to play in such a world class venue as Whitley Ice Rink, that you might not have stuck out so well?
Where I grew up in Finland, I have to say that I always thought that ice rink was was for away teams because of the conditions. But hello,
sorry, yeah, I just got you saying about where you grew up, and then it kind of cut out again, I'm afraid.
Oh no. I was just gonna say that I grew up playing in an ice rink that was, I guess, the Whitley Bay of Finland in a way. So coming to Whitley Bay, like I was just saying that if you can make it work, you can play in Whitley Bay. That means you can play anywhere. So yeah, you just own up to it, and yeah, definitely it's not a nice place for away teams to come for a visit. So, but we just embrace it.
And I guess the other thing you would have maybe noticed when you came to the UK for university hockey, was it surprising just how late in the evening some of the university games are played?
It was really, because I guess
Are you still there? Sorry, I think I lost you again.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. This will test
about the connection.
This will test my editing skills a little bit. Well, I'll not keep you too much longer because you've given, despite the fact there's been a lot of breaks because of the technology, it's actually been very, very interesting to talk about. Where is the best place? If someone, appreciate there's no Ringette in the UK, but if someone who's listening to this wanted to go and sort of look up Ringette highlights or something like that, is it just YouTube's the way to go, or is there anywhere else you would recommend?
Yeah, YouTube's the best. Yeah, by far. Yeah, so you can see anything from kind of how to play Ringette videos that are really, really good, either produced by Ringette Canada in English or the International Ringette Federation. And then they've even got like full games in World Championship level if you want to see what that looks like, which is probably quite different from the kind of come try Ringette videos.
And if we were trying to find a young Saara Lahti playing Ringette, what would we type into our YouTube search?
Yeah, not sure that exists, but what you should definitely check out, there is this really cool goal by Susanna Tapani, who's an absolute legend. Actually, both plays ice hockey and ringette in national teams in Finland. And her goal in the 2016 World Championships, I think if you type in just ringette goal or a trick shot, you're probably going to find it. And when you see that, well, I'll leave that up to the viewer. But yeah, I think your mind will be blown. What is possible?
Cool. And just before we depart, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, and then you can kind of make them listen to this and increase my listener numbers?
I guess I feel like it's more so like just thanking people that I haven't really had a chance to thank in terms of Northumbria Kings, but I mean maybe they are already your listeners, but everyone at Kings, like over the years, you've made me feel so welcome at every step of the way, and I can't thank you enough for that. And then in the ball hockey community, Northeast Deck Stars, and again maybe it's the Northeast, the friendly people in the Northeast, I don't know, but again, just you've made my time in the UK and in Newcastle so memorable, and really because of you, I also feel like I can call it my second home.
That's very nice, and I totally concur about the Northeast. I've not met many dull people from there, so totally concur with that. So thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate we've had some technical difficulties, but it's been fun chatting about Ringette and learning a bit about it. And I'm doing a follow up with Ella Grad Arndt. I hope I pronounced her name right. I should know how to pronounce her last name, considering she's played for the Steel Queens this year. But there'll be a follow up, and that Ella's from Canada, so it'll be interesting to see how her experience varies from your own. So thank you so much, Saara, and have a lovely rest of the day.
Thank you. Really appreciate it, Rambo.
Cheers.